Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about how to not get bored with a minimalist wardrobe. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna knit my new sweater that I started in 2 previous videos. I'm gonna link you the playlist where I will link all the videos where I knit my sweater while I talk about something and also kind of share what I'm doing with this. So I'm knitting the sweater top down. That's like my mock neck. And I'm gonna knit as much as I need there, and then maybe in this video we're gonna start with like the part where the shoulders and sleeves and the body part is started. I think we all need different things to not get bored by having a minimalist wardrobe, but I just wanted to share a few things that I think help me, that hopefully will help you too. And of course, if you have additional things, please leave them down below in the comments, as well as questions and suggestions for future videos and things like that. So let's get started with the first thing, and that is actually that it might not be for everyone. If you enjoy fashion, if you know you need to change things up, if you want to have very special and unique outfits, and if you just know that a limited amount of pieces, whether that is like 50 pieces or 20 pieces or 70 pieces, is not going to be good for you, then maybe you will get bored with a minimalist wardrobe. Of course, maybe you want to consider still trying it. If there are so many advantages with having a minimalist wardrobe, then you might still want to try, even though you might get a bit bored. But maybe, just so you know, I think there might be people out there that do not like having a minimalist wardrobe, and that's perfectly fine as well, because we just all are different. And if fashion really is your only or your prioritized creative outlet, and if you really like new things and changing things, and then maybe a minimalist wardrobe is not for you. But all of the people that think that there are advantages or that they really want to try out a minimalist wardrobe, we still sometimes can get bored even though we like the idea and really want to have a minimalist wardrobe. So I think one of the things that I can encourage you to do is just keeping amazing pieces. If you don't like the pieces you have, like if you just don't like them in general, I think it's easy to get bored. But if you have pieces that you love, that are versatile, that are good quality, then it's not that easy to get bored because you like wearing them more. It can still happen, but I think it already helps. So one thing that I have changed for myself, I think when I started minimalism, so that must have been about almost 6 years ago, is that I stopped wearing clothes that I didn't like just because I had them and because I thought I should wear them out or I can wear them at home. I started only wearing things that I like. Now, I don't love all my pieces. There are always a few pieces that I'd like to change or that are not completely perfect. But I give myself the permission now to actually declutter and exchange pieces if I see that they are not, that they don't fit into my lifestyle, that they are not practical, that I don't like myself in them, and things like that. So that already helped a lot because now I have a very limited amount of clothes, but I like all of them. Now again, they are not perfect. I don't love all of them and I still sometimes get bored, but it really helps because I have so many pieces that I really enjoy wearing, that I feel beautiful in, and that I want to wear for a long time. So having pieces that you really enjoy, that are good quality, that you maybe have thought about for a long time, then maybe that helps with not getting bored with a limited amount of clothes in your minimalist wardrobe. That's the annoying part of getting wool from just somewhere. Maybe it's tied in knots, it feels like, but I think it's fine. I can unravel it. Okay. I think I need just a bit more for my mock neck because this will stretch out, I think. And so I think I need a little bit more, like a few rows or circles. And then we're gonna start with the body part. And then let's talk about the third thing that I think really helps when being bored with your minimalist wardrobe, and that is allowing yourself to change it. Now, I think we should be very intentional, and I really try to learn that myself. You can check out my Extreme Minimalist wardrobe playlist on my channel. I'm gonna link it up here for you, where you can see the changes my wardrobe has gone through just in the past like 2 years. No, not even past 2 years, but past a bit more than 1 year. That's how long I've made videos about my Extreme Minimalist wardrobe. But there have been quite a few changes. So this year I'm focusing on slowing down with changing belongings in general in my life and also in my wardrobe. And that is what I also want to encourage you to do. Like, if you have a minimalist wardrobe, but you just like kind of buy a new wardrobe each month and declutter the old one, I don't think that is the benefit, or that is the point in having a minimalist wardrobe. But of course that would be one extreme, and the other extreme would be having a wardrobe and not changing it for the next 10 years until all of your clothes fall apart. So now I need a new thread. And I'm just gonna start with using up these small pieces, because then it's getting easier. So I'm going through the harder stuff first, or the more annoying stuff. So this is one thread, and I'm knitting with 2 threads. I talked about that in my first video, because otherwise my needles would be too like big, and therefore it would be just a very light sweater with a lot of holes, and I don't want that. I want it to be a bit like less see-through, a bit thicker. So changing things in your wardrobe. I think it's important to not impulse shop for new things in your wardrobe, because especially if you have a minimalist wardrobe, if you later regret the piece that you've added to your wardrobe, that would be like a waste of a piece, a waste of money. And therefore I encourage you to think a lot about pieces before they come into your wardrobe, just because, yeah, you want them to be pieces that you love. You want them to be pieces that you want to wear a lot and for a long time. But of course, each time you buy something, there is the chance that you end up not liking it as much as you thought. And I think we should be okay with that as well. So we should also be okay with changing up things in our wardrobe every now and then if we realize that one piece or several pieces are just not doing the job that we need them to do. A short list of things that I like to do to make sure that I'm shopping intentionally, and I think I've made an entire video about how I shop for my minimalist wardrobe. But the short answer to that is I stick to my colors, I stick to my cuts, I try to not impulse buy things, but just buy things that I've had on my list or on my mind for several weeks or months. I try to always make sure that the piece I am thinking about adding to my wardrobe is versatile enough so that I can wear it in more than one season if possible. I try to make sure that the piece I want to add is versatile enough so that I can wear it in more than one occasion, so that I can wear it at least once a week, because that is about what I need from my pieces, because I have such a limited amount. So I try to just be intentional, only buy things that really fit into my wardrobe, that I can get a lot of use out of, because I can combine them with everything. I want to wear them all the time and they are appropriate all the time. But that said, like, I'm in this super privileged position where I work from home, where I don't really need to go anywhere or don't have any dress codes. So of course that can be more difficult for you if you have very different environments where you have to dress differently for. And now my other thread is used up, so I need a new one here. Interesting, that was like exactly one more circle, because now I have all of these new and old threads here at the exact same point, but that doesn't matter. And if you're wondering, I'm just like putting a bit of thread here and adding a new thread here as well, and I'm gonna like knot them together, or I'm gonna like take a needle and yeah, just put them somewhere so that it won't open up the whole sweater, because that would be a bummer. So I think if you're bored with your wardrobe, of course it can just be because you need to change a few pieces, because your wardrobe is just not versatile enough, because your wardrobe is just not, yeah, you don't have the pieces that you need to have in your wardrobe. But of course, if you have such a wardrobe, like if you're not sure or if most pieces are okay, I think it always helps to just try to combine them in more different ways, try to wear them in different ways. maybe alter a piece, maybe embroider something on a piece, maybe fix a piece like with visible mending methods so it looks cool again, maybe dyeing a piece with plant dyes or with other dyes you can get at different stores, you can use in your washing machine at home. Just try to alter the pieces you're not happy with so that you can wear them longer, maybe crop something, crop a pair of pants, make shorts out of them, crop a sweater, crop a t-shirt, things like that. And I'm gonna link you the video where I cropped a sweater of mine about a year ago, and I'm so much more happy since I did that. So I think if you're bored with your pieces and if you want to change something, it doesn't always need to be buying new things, but it can also mean just altering something you already have by giving it a new color, fixing it, altering it in some other way. What do you think? I think now slowly it's maybe long enough. Let's try done again. If it's like, yeah, I think now it's good, I think. Okay. I don't really want to have a turtleneck, so that's also not long enough for a turtleneck. But I think now we're maybe at the point where it's good. I have to look into the viewfinder, that's why I don't look at you exactly, like directly. But yeah, I think we're good. So now I want to find out where my row started, and that's just a few stitches in. And then I'm gonna make one circle where I just knit all the stitches and don't purl them. Please correct me if I'm using the wrong terms. I am not used to talking about knitting in English. In German, fun fact, or not so fun fact, interesting fact, you don't have these different names for the different stitches, but you call them like knitting them left and right. So you have left stitches and right stitches, where the right stitches would be the normal ones and the left ones would be the ones that you kind of do the other way around. So I am confused with the terms and I don't know what the correct name is in English. So I think now we're done with one circle. Okay, so now I'm gonna just knit one normally, and then we're gonna start with the raglan with the where it's getting bigger for my shoulders and for my whole body. Okay, now we're done. Now I made some mistakes in the beginning, so I want them to be on like the back side. So I think we're gonna do it a bit differently than maybe some patterns would suggest, and then I'm not gonna start like with the middle of the back, but I'm gonna start like at the side. So first I'm gonna knit all the stitches for the back, then we're starting with the first stitch that is going to like make more stitches for the sleeve, then the sleeve stitches, then the stitch for the sleeve on the other side, then the front stitches, the stitch for the sleeve on this side. So I have 54 stitches and I need to divide them by 6 because I want to have like two, like 1/3, 1/6, 1/3, 1/6 here, so that it that there's enough room for my whole body and the sleeves, but I want the sleeves to be a bit oversized, so I think that's a good number to go by. Now we have 54 divided by 6 and that makes 9. So first I'm gonna knit 18 stitches for the back because it's 2 6, it's 1/3, and then I'm gonna make that stitch, 9 stitches, 18 stitches, stitch, 9 stitches, and then I should be like all around. Like always, I think I'm gonna just take the 18th, the 9th, the 18th and the 9th for the stitches that will broaden the whole pattern and make more stitches. What I mean by that is that in front of that stitch I'm gonna add 1 stitch, and after that stitch I'm also gonna add 1 stitch, and I'm gonna like turn it around so that it doesn't get holes, but that it looks like kind of closed, and where just more stitches grow out of that 1 stitch. That's a weird way to describe it. So the next point I want to talk about is focusing so much on clothes, or that maybe we are bored because something else is going on, and that the problem is not actually that our closet is not versatile enough, but that we just have like that we are bored because of other reasons. But now let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 17. So before I'm gonna add the 18th, I'm gonna take the thread in between, gonna put it on the other needle, turn it around so it doesn't make holes, and then I'm gonna knit it. Then I'm gonna knit that one stitch, and then I'm gonna also add a stitch after that one, which means I'm taking the thread from underneath, I'm turning around and knitting it so it's like twisted and doesn't create a hole. And then I'm knitting again until I'm at the next stitch where I need to add new stitches. So what I wanted to talk about is being bored with your wardrobe, and that it maybe is just because you're bored in general. And if you're bored with your wardrobe, maybe just a tip that is super like easy said, not so easy done, is care less about your clothes. Like, just think less about your clothes. Don't focus so much on your wardrobe. And I know that's like really easier said than done, because that happens to me a lot too, that I keep thinking about my wardrobe and feel like I want to change something because I'm kind of bored, or there would just be more perfect things out there. And actually there's nothing wrong with my wardrobe. I'm just bored in general, or I search for something, for an outlet. I search to make something better that's boring in my life, that's exhausting, that's stressful. Stress is a big one, actually. When I used to study, it was always right before I had exams that I would feel like I need to declutter all of my belongings. And there's nothing wrong with decluttering, but if I just want to declutter because I'm stressed, then that's not the right reason to do it. And so I think that can be the case if you're bored with your wardrobe. And then of course, one thing is focus less on the wardrobe, and the other thing is figuring out what it actually is that is so boring. Now I'm at the stitch again, I think. Am I though? Yes, I am. That's the problem. I'm not using these stitch markers just because I don't have any and because I think I can do it without them. But of course, then it could happen that I make mistakes because I did not mark the stitches where I need to like add new ones, and then it wouldn't look very nice. So I try to be very careful because I want the sweater to turn out nice. Oh, that's always a bit difficult here with these stitches. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you cannot just get rid of being bored, and that's totally okay. Sometimes we are bored. Sometimes our lives are not like they would perfectly be if they are just like how we wanted them to be, and that's okay. And so I think sometimes maybe we are just bored, and it's okay to be bored, and we can just leave it that way. But on the other hand, I think it's a good idea to search for things that can make you less bored, like I don't know, new hobbies, going on walks, cooking new recipes, just things that make you happy beyond your wardrobe. And now I am wondering again if I'm at the right stitch to add new stitches. I think I am, but I think I already knitted one too much. That's maybe I should use these like stitch markers, right? And sometimes it's hard to find something that distracts us from being bored, from just feeling like we need to change something about our wardrobe or about our belongings in general. And I think that's why sometimes it's okay to just be bored and sit it out, or change something if you really can't do anything else, or if you feel like you actually want to change something, and if there's actually things that would be better for your wardrobe out there. So being bored with your wardrobe can definitely be a sign of that you need to change something, that you need to perfect your wardrobe, or maybe that you're just bored about life in general, or that you need to focus less on your wardrobe. And With all that said, like I cannot tell what could be the reason if you're bored. I can also not tell what the reason is if you're never bored with your wardrobe. That's perfectly fine. For myself, I can say that most of the time I'm okay with my wardrobe, but there are definitely days or weeks where I feel like I would want to change something, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. What helps there is just not impulse decide something for your wardrobe. Just wait for a bit, maybe add things to your shopping cart if you're online shopping, and looking back at that in a few weeks and seeing that most of the things are not relevant anymore and you don't actually want to have anymore. And maybe there's also other solutions that work for you. I would be really interested in hearing about those, so leave them down below in the comments. Leave all your suggestions for people that are bored with their wardrobe, for like focusing on clothes or learning to not focus on our clothes so much. And I hope you like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos, I'll link you a video here and a playlist here that you can watch if you want to and if you have time. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!